So I'm going to be running the slides.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. We already started.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight for this online webinar for Master of Science in Business Analytics in the U.S., more specifically in California State University, East Bay. Believe it or not, the big data is one of the most exciting technologies in that world, and which influence everybody's life on a daily basis, pretty much, more or less. So today, we five of us from California State University will bring you to the world of the big data. And let me introduce our presenters for today. Dr. Chengqi Wu, Director of a MSBA program.
Hi.
Yes. And here's his contact, email contact. And I'm Kelly Pan, International Recruitment and Marketing Manager. And Laura, International Recruitment and Marketing Recruitment and Marketing Coordinator. And Anton Kurari. He's our hi. He speaks Ukraine, so you can say hi in your own language, home language. He's currently studying at our Master of Science Business Analytics program. So it's Haomeng Cai. He is originally from China and currently enrolled in this program as well.
Hey guys.
This is our agenda for today.
Kelly, I'm not seeing the slides. Is it being shared?
I'm not sure. I'm running the slides now.
Are you sharing your screen?
Sure, let me see. Okay.
There we go.
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Okay, good. Oh, sorry about that. So let me go back. So here's our contact, all the presenters tonight.
Oh, awesome.
And we'll share that again at the end.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We will share that again at the end. And this is our agenda for today. So we will start with the introduction and also why you want to study business analytics and who should apply and our admission requirements, application process and timelines. And if you're not ready for MSBA, we also have a pre-business analytics program offered on our campus. Then we move on to California State University East Bay, and we will one of the best benefit you can get out of studying this program is that you can take 36 months OPT, and then we will introduce you about CPT and OPT programs and the training opportunities. The last one is a question and answer QA session, so we leave some time for you to answer questions. First, we will have the professor, our director of the MSBA program, Dr. Wu, to start with the program, share his expertise in MSBA. Okay, Dr. Wu, you're on.
All right, thank you so much, Kelly. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for participating in this webinar. And as far as the MSBA program is concerned, we would love to see the students from all over the countries, including Ukraine, of course. And here, let me give you guys a quick review of what this program is about. We all know analytics is a fast-growing field, so we start this program more than 3 years ago, and right now the program is in its 4th year. And the goal of this program is to prepare students for a career in business analysis. And in most of the cases, students will be able to get entry-level jobs in business as like business analyst or data analyst. And potentially, and actually, I'm like, more into like data science and data scientist. And at this moment, the program itself does not necessarily prepare students to be a data scientist, which has a much higher bar. But we do have a lot of electives nowadays like the one I'm teaching right now called machine learning. We also have a course in deep learning to potentially prepare some of the more better prepared students to potentially pursue a career as a data scientist. That's how we are going to help our students to be successful in their career. And from the curriculum perspective, we combine the two streams. One is from a technology side, and the other is from the analytics side to help our students. And we have courses like database management, data warehousing, and business intelligence, big data technology. Those are on the more or less on the data engineering side. On the other hand, we have courses like data analytics, data mining, and optimization. Those courses are on the analytics side. And a question I got a lot is, what kind of applicants we are looking for in the admission process. Actually, we welcome students from all kinds of backgrounds. And we actually, we have a student from like art history background. And she did really well academically in the program. But as far as the admission is concerned, of course, we're gonna looking for some technology readiness and quantitative skill readiness. In particular, we're looking for a little bit algebra, college level algebra, statistics, and a little bit programming skills. And sometimes people might feel scared. Oh, you guys require programming, right? But we are a business analytics program. It's not a computer science program. All we need is programming proficiency. Just like you want to come to United States to study or to work, you got to speak a little bit English, right? So that's what I mean by proficiency. You will be able to communicate with the people over here. Same idea as far as the programming skills are concerned. And one way, if you have never had any programming background, one way to meet the requirement is to take some of the online courses. Here in the States, we have some of the popular websites like Coursera, like edX and Udacity, and students can take online course and get a certificate, and the students can use that to meet the admission requirement. That's a question I got a lot, okay? And so don't worry, it doesn't matter what your undergrad background is, as long as you have reasonable knowledge about algebra, stats, and programming, you are good to go. And I think another question I got a lot is regarding the GRE and GMAT requirement. And as of this moment, GRE and GMAT is required. And I think it's particularly true for international students because, we got transcripts from all over the world. And it's very difficult for us to decode the information in different kind of transcripts. Okay, so GRE GMAT may play a more important role for international students, but our GMAT GRE requirement, to my knowledge, is quite reasonable. We look at the two parts of those two tests. One, of course, is the verbal part, and the other is the quantitative part. On verbal part, on average, our admitted students scored about 20 percentile. And quantitatively, of course, the bar is a little bit higher. On average, admitted students are at roughly 60% percentile. And that's as far as the admissions are concerned. And one thing I want to bring to your attention is that we have a capstone project that that are required for all the MSBA students. And entering over here, Halmon over here, they're actually our quarter students. We just started the new semester system. In the new system, capstone will be like a regular course, which is like 3 semester units. And we encourage our students to do all kinds of things. The way I handle the capstone is to get a student to participate in some of the data science competitions. I'm not sure whether you heard about it or not. There's a famous one called Kaggle competition. Okay, and we prepare students who will be able to compete and to participate in the those competitions. And potentially, you can showcase your cases, your project to the potential employers, and to demonstrate your and so we are excited about this. That's what I can think of at this moment, because I have to leave in a few minutes. Well, I have to drive my kids to school. And if you have any question for me at this moment, please let me know. I run really fast because, it's like 7:20 now already.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, sorry, we had to fast forward a little bit. But well, if you have any question, you can talk to us later. And we have two current MSBA students here, and I think they can answer a lot of questions from their perspective as a student, also studying this programs. Okay, so Dr. Wu, you have anything to add, or anything else we should?
Okay, one more thing I want to add is that, how should I put it? Nowadays it's a little hard for international students given the political environment in this country. But we have a lot of successful students, and we have students who land a job with Facebook and some of the very good companies. And so I think this is going to be a very good opportunity. And I know that the students from, particularly from Eastern Europe and East Asia, they are really good quantitatively and technologically. So I believe that will be a huge help for the applicants from those regions like East Asia and Eastern Europe. And we always see students from those areas are doing really, really well in a program. So I believe this program can potentially be a very, very good fit for many of the students from Ukraine.
Dr. Wu, could you comment on the slide that's there now about your advisory board?
Okay, so here's how it works. We have some connection with the industry, and typically students don't meet the advisory board members on a daily basis, but we consult them constantly regarding like curriculum design and things like that. And also they help us find a project, find internship, and even in some cases like permanent jobs for our students. And like, for example, Mark Miller from Chevron, and we have students have internship with them. And like Eugene Goodkin, I think he's also from Ukraine, if I remember correctly, the second member of the board on the advisory board. And we also invite them to come to campus to be like a guest speaker, to have like industry panels, and to share the expertise and their experience in the industry. And that's one thing I really want to add, is that networking is very important for any people to land a job over here. And we have some of the students who are, really good at that. And actually, one student landed a job through this channel. And yes, okay, the advisory came over here to be a guest speaker and to give our students a talk, a presentation, and then you can reach out to them. But it's important to maintain the relationship. The student who landed a job, connected with one of the members on LinkedIn. But at that moment, there was no, a job that fits his expertise. But a few months later, a job came up, and he thinks this job fits him really well. He likes this job so much, and he reached out to one of the members, and then eventually he landed this job. So the point is that we do everything we can to provide all kinds of resources to our students, but it's up to every individual student to take advantage of those opportunities, to take advantage of those resources, and to open up the entire business field for yourself.
Great.
Okay, we know you had to go. So, so you, free to go anytime you needed to. Then we will just continue running the slides.
Yeah. Just now my son was right by me. You cannot see him, and I put down the headphones so you cannot hear him either. So that's, you know. Yeah.
Well, you see my son behind me too.
Yeah. My son is much shorter, you know.
Yes, he's taller and much older. Okay, thank you very much, Dr.
All right, it's my pleasure to see all of you guys. Have a wonderful day or have a wonderful evening. Okay, bye now. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Wu.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, so we're gonna continue run the slides, and later we will go back to the contact info. If you have any further questions later, you can email Dr. Wu or any of us. We will find the right person. If we can't answer you right away, we will direct you to the correct person to help you.
Okay, Kelly, you want to take us back sort of towards the beginning, and we can just run through.
Yeah, I figured. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
So Laura, you want to?
Okay, sure. Yeah, so as Dr. Wu was saying, business analytics is a huge developing field. And so we just pulled out some quotes here showing you about the growth of data and the elevation of analytics, how this is really a very relevant degree now. It's a very hot field. It's growing in needs. So there's a lot of need for analytics expertise that is not met in the current market. So it's a very good investment to get this kind of degree.
Okay.
So there are a lot of business analytics programs throughout the country that have started just in the past 10 years. It's typically a 1 to 2 year program. Our program usually takes 2 years, but depending on how quickly you take your classes, it can be done in as fast as 1 year, but that would be very intense. Most classes are offered in evenings or weekends so that you could do either on-campus jobs or internships during the day. And it's very experiential, hands-on learning. I wonder if Anton or Haomeng would like to comment on that aspect.
Any of you two want to comment on the hands-on learning experience?
Anton, right? Go ahead.
Commented on what?
The experience on hands-on learning experience. Well, Haomeng, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Basically, for me, personally, I studied economics on the bachelor. So the MSBA, actually, there are so many classes are in the like programming classes. So for me, it was hard at the beginning because I have to study a little bit of fundamental programming classes, such as like Python. I studied Python last semester, and then I stepped in for its all the class. So basically, I feel this program is pretty suitable for students if they want to find a job in the future after master program, because all the positions on here in a Bay Area is pretty nearby the San Francisco city and the Silicon Valley. It's just like 30 or 40 minutes for the drive. So I don't know if you guys have heard of some like recruitment website like LinkedIn or like Handshake. all the companies are here. They are hiring for the data analytics, and all of them have the requirements for the programming skills like Python, R, and SQL. And those classes we will learn and we will study from all classes in this program. So I think it's pretty hands-on program. If students can just successfully to graduate from this master program, I think it's not very hard to find a job in the US. And also for the salary, be honestly, I feel it was satisfied for these positions. If they are studying, if they are working and studying on the data field, like a database field, yeah, it's pretty have a potential investment. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Compare MBA, I guess.
Okay. I want to move along because I know time is short. So just as he mentioned, it is a great field for getting work experience. And most universities will have a career center on campus that will help students with internship opportunities and job placement, as well as just resume workshops and other things to help you with networking. So obviously we have that on our campus, and other campuses do as well. And business analytics is a STEM program through the CSUEB system, so it is recognized to get that 36 months of optional practical training, which for some people then can lead to full-time positions.
Yeah, and can you just elaborate quickly what is OPT, because not everyone is aware of what it is.
We have more slides on it at the end, so we'll focus on that later. So just an overview of the program at Cal State East Bay. It is designed for students and professionals with a little bit of background, at least, in computer science, statistics, and mathematics, as Dr. Wu mentioned, and also for those that are wanting to develop that in-depth knowledge, like how Meng mentioned, of Python and other specialized skills. And then it gives you an opportunity to apply business analytics to various business functions. So it's a really interesting degree because you can use it in all sorts of companies and fields. It's very, very diverse in its applications.
Oh, we've
already discussed this board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who should attend is students and professionals with a solid background in programming, mathematics, and statistics, interested in an accredited business analytics program, wanting to pursue a career in analytics, business intelligence, and data science. And these are people who can become managers who routinely analyze big data and make decisions based on their findings. So Dr. Wu mentioned the curriculum, and this just gives you a summary so you can see it. So it's structured around classes like database management, data analytics, data warehousing and business intelligence, data mining, big data technologies and application, and optimization methods for analytics to help you start or build your career in business analytics. So you see on the right, there's a summary. There's 18 units of required courses. I won't read those out. And then you can also select 8 or 9 units of elective courses, and there's lots to choose from that you can sort of make your own specialization within those. And then Dr. Wu mentioned this capstone experience, which our students are working on now. So this is a project to solve a practical problem, applying and integrating the knowledge and skills learned through the degree program. So this is using real business data from an identified organization. And this is a very intense project, as I'm sure our students will explain to you if they have comments on that later. So let's move on. So admission requirements for our university is, as Dr. Wu mentioned, you have to have intermediate algebra, statistics, and object-oriented programming. And he did mention the GRE GMAT, which is required. We don't have a minimum score, but generally on the verbal section, students have at least 20% and at least 60% in the quantitative section. And although work experience is not required for individuals that have been working in the field, we recommend that you attach your resume or your LinkedIn profile to your application. And then letters of recommendation are optional. So the other thing is that we have these two prerequisite courses that students are supposed to have a foundation in before they can enroll in our program. So it's technology fundamentals for analytics and quantitative fundamentals for analytics. If you don't have these courses or something equivalent to them, we have a pre-business analytics program, which is a one-semester program where you could take these courses and any of the other background materials that you may need. You could also take those statistics or the math courses at the same time. We'll cover that more later. So our general admission requirements to Cal State East Bay for all graduate programs is a minimum TOEFL score of a 79 or an IELTS of 6.5 and a degree awarded by an accredited university with at least a 2.5 GPA. And we do accept applications for this program both for fall and for spring semesters. And our admissions process is that students submit their transcripts and TOEFL or IELTS score to the International Admissions Office, and they'll review that for general admissibility to the university. But then the GRE GMAT score and any other application materials would be sent directly to the Business Analytics Department, and then they would review the application to make a decision whether to accept or deny the applicant. And these applications can take several weeks to process depending on the academic department's application volume at the time. But I have to say business analytics is actually one of our more efficient programs. So they generally have a decision within a couple of weeks after receiving your complete application. So just some admission reminders for Cal State East Bay. If you would like to apply to our school, just if you meet those admission requirements, we encourage you to go to Cal State Apply. You can apply all online. There's an application fee, $55 that you can pay online. And then you would need to mail in your academic records. They need to be official. And if your academic records are in Ukrainian or some other language, then we would need an official English translation as well. And then the test scores can be submitted directly from ETS using our test center code. And this is just a summary of the cost of our program. So the tuition and fees for the graduate business programs, including MSBA, is just over $20,000. That's for 1 year. That's assuming you're taking 9 units per semester. So for most people, it would take 2 years to finish the program. And then this also gives you our living expenses in the Bay Area at around $18,000 and the required health insurance. So the total cost is just under $40,000 for 1 year. And so here's a summary of our pre-business analytics program. So this is administered by the American Language Program on our campus in collaboration with the College of Business and Economics. So it's an intensive integrated curriculum of those prerequisite courses that we mentioned earlier, plus GMAT preparation for those who need it, and general academic skills for international students preparing to enter graduate business school. So this would be like graduate level writing, things like that. And then also you could also take any other classes that you need through our open university to give you any other prerequisites that you need to prepare for the program. So this is a 1 semester program where you could take 1 or 2 of those MSBA courses, the graduate reading, writing, and GMAT prep. And if you're interested in applying for this program, it's a 2-part application, one being the American Language Program online application with their fee, and then the Cal State Apply application and that fee as well. And this is a summary of the costs for the pre-business analytics program. You can either take 8 weeks or a full semester, which is 16 weeks. So depending on how many courses you need to prepare, that would determine how long you need to stay in the program. So the cost is, it's under $4,000 for 8 weeks or under $8,000 for 1 semester. And there would be additional cost if you took any other courses through Open University as well. So why should you choose Cal State East Bay? Because we have a relatively low cost, high quality education. We're part of the 23 campus California State University system, which is the largest university system in the United States. We have 100 different fields of study at our university and a very diverse multicultural student body of over 15,000 students. Our graduate student to faculty ratio is 17:1. And we do have an AACSB accredited College of Business. So when you're looking at programs, even if you choose not to come to Cal State East Bay, this is something you want to be looking for at any business school in the United States, that they have this accreditation.
Yeah, in the US, there's about 300 top business schools that has a CSB accreditation. So US has over 4,800 higher education institutions. So the schools that has a CSB accreditation is about 5%, 5-6% of this total like higher ed institution in the US.
So as Helmung mentioned, one of the main things that is a draw for our university is our location. We're between San Francisco and Silicon Valley. So you see on the map, the Cal State East Bay sort of in the middle at the bottom, and all around there is companies, tech companies, banking, all sorts of companies. Obviously, people think about it mostly for technology, but there's all sorts of other sorts of companies as well, because we have the Port of Oakland nearby. So there's a lot of opportunities to find work in a variety of kinds of positions.
Yeah, San Francisco Bay Area has 3 major international airports, and Oakland is one of the major ports. So the import-export logistic companies here is very popular, one of the most popular industries for students who has a bilingual background to look for a job here.
So it is an ideal location for getting practical training because it's a major international center for biotechnology, construction, finance, healthcare, import-export, transportation, etc. And so this past year, our university had a lot of CPT and OPT placements. So we had at least 40 students a term completing CPT, and over 425 students were approved for post-completion OPT, and 225 had OPT STEM extensions. And we're going to review now exactly what CPT and OPT are.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So CPT is curricular practical training. So this is a benefit of the F1 student visa for anyone studying in the United States in any field. So an international student advisor on the campus can authorize an F1 student to participate in curricular practical training, which is an integral part of an established curriculum. So the employment must be related to your degree program, and a job offer is required before CPT can be authorized. So you can't just go get a job at a fast food restaurant, for example. It's not just a job off campus. It has to be related to your field of study. And you have to have been in the United States for at least 9 months before beginning. So most people would do CPT the second year of their program or later for undergraduates. It can be part-time, up to 20 hours a week or less, or it can be full-time over a vacation terms. So for example, in the summer, you could have a full-time CPT placement. If authorized for part-time CPT, any on-campus employment and CPT together cannot amount to over 20 hours of work per week. So for example, Helmung works in our office. Anton also works in our office. So if either one of them wanted to do CPT at the same time as they were working in our office, then we would have to cut back our hours for them. So they might be able to do 10 hours in the at the Center for International Education, and then another 10 hours somewhere else. And so this is just some example of some recent CPT placements for students in the MSBA program at our university. So we've had people at PayPal, at Bank of the West, tech companies. So you can see it's a diverse group of placements. And then OPT. So optional practical training is also a benefit of the F1 student visa. So students who've been enrolled on a full-time basis for at least 9 consecutive months or at least 1 academic year are eligible to apply. Again, the employment must be directly related to your major field of study. And most students decide to do what's called post-completion OPT. So you could do pre-completion or you could do post-completion. Most students do post-completion because it ends up basically adding a year to your time in the US because it's 12 months employment option upon completion of the course of study. You're allowed to submit your OPT application as early as 90 days before your expected graduation and up to 60 days after the program end date. And you can see the picture on the right. There's what's called an employment authorization document. It's a card that you would get in the mail once you're approved. And you see it at the bottom of it, it's got dates on it, valid from, and the card expires. So when you apply for OPT, you set a start date when you'd want to begin, and then you're eligible to be in the US and working anytime during those periods. So we have another student in our office, Adlan, who's just about to graduate with his MSBA. He's already found a job in another state, actually. He's going to be moving to New Orleans next month to take up a new position. But his card doesn't start until January. So he's going to be moving down there and getting settled, but he won't be able to actually start until the date that's on his card.
Yeah, so student, if you already have employment or job offers, you can apply for the EAD card 60 days prior the program end date. So it really depends on your employment situation, your job offer situation.
Yeah, so most students will apply in their last semester so that they can be planning ahead.
Right.
So here's just a testimonial from one of our recent students in the MSBA program, Jian Du. He got a position at Cloudcade, so that's a sort of a startup company here, and you can read his testimonial there on the screen. But what I wanted to point it out to you about this is some of the other placements. Ania at Ernst & Young, which is a major accounting company. Rohit at Open Table. That's an app that helps people get reservations at restaurants. It's a very popular app here in the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And then Schneider Electric, where Anam works, is a huge multinational corporation. And then C at the Center for Disease Analysis Foundation. So you see it's a really diverse group of companies that you can really use this degree in all sorts of industries and fields. It's something that's very, very adaptable because all sorts of companies have data and need to figure out how to use it. So it's very practical in that way. You can work across industries. And then, as we mentioned before, because the business analytics program is a STEM program, it's eligible for an additional 24-month extension of OPT. So what that means is as you're finishing the first year of the OPT placement, if the company would like you to continue, you can apply to get an extension. So in essence, you end up working for 3 years on your optional practical training.
Yeah, but if you want to switch to a different company, that's okay too.
Yes,
so,
yeah. Many students will have several different placements during their OPT.
Right.
So here's some additional resources on the MSB program at Cal State East Bay. So there's a brochure link that you can download to get more information. And we also have a lot of videos about our program and our university. So we have a video gallery of just general information for international students. But we also have several videos from the College of Business about the business analytics program, and I would encourage you to check those out. So there's an introduction by Professor Zinovi Radulovsky, which gives an introduction to the program on our campus. And then there are a couple of videos from our advisory board members just explaining the field of data analytics and what it means and why it's so important in the industry today. and also an introduction to our College of Business and Economics. So if you have any questions about anything, you can contact us at any time. For admissions questions, you can contact the International Admissions Office. General questions about the Business Analytics program, you could either contact Dr. Wu directly or the CBE grad email address. For the pre-business analytics program, you can contact the American Language Program at ALPGen at CSUEB. And then our university website has a wealth of other information. And the last slide then is just a reminder of all of our names and all of our emails. And now we will be very happy to take any questions that you have.
Probably I would have like two. So I would like to hear maybe from Anton about his experiences. What he can talk.
Ну, насчет моего бэкграунда, например, я заканчивал бакалаврат менеджмент логистики. То бишь у меня не было ни компьютер-сайенс бэкграунд, то бишь я, грубо говоря, начинал все с нуля. Но моя рекомендация, это, конечно, для этой программы, это углубленные знания в статистике. Статистика будет здесь превыше всего. Даже в плане математики не так сильно. Там, в принципе, будет... математика, грубо говоря, требуется знания с класса с 9 по 11. Но статистика, конечно, превалирует. Лучше вот всего иметь более сильные знания статистики. Насчет программирования. Программирование тоже несущественно, если никогда неплохо знать, конечно, там программирование SQL, Java, но еще раз говорю, это не так сильно требуется. Здесь вас всему научат. В статистике, например, я, например, могу дать пару топиков, например, которые можете просто взглянуть и знать, например, интересно, сильны ли вы в этом. Например, теория вероятностей, байесовская теория, разные распределения, нормальное распределение, распределение Пуассона, дискретное распределение. Вот в этих топиках нужно быть сильным.
Можно написать, да, чтобы вы могли, скажем так, follow-up, да, по этим вопросам.
Еще раз, пожалуйста.
Да, если у кого-то будет из студентов наших вопросы, да, или онлайн, кто слушает, можно вам...
Да, конечно, я отвечу на вопросы, да. Может есть вопросы конкретные по слайдам, что-то может...
Do you guys have like concrete questions about slides? But before that, I would like to ask about funding. Is there some funding, and maybe a question for Anton, how did you fund, or how do you fund your studies?
Do you guys have any question? Maybe for some particular slides?
Well, they were just asking about funding.
Funding, yeah. Did you hear? Like, I have a question about funding. So, if there is like funding, and Anton, personally, your family, how did you fund your studies? How do you fund it?
I funded through the career fair back in Ukraine. I think back in 2014, I was attending a career fair, and that's where I found out about the university itself. But initially, I was planning to apply for MBA program, because at that time I didn't know about MSBA. Because it was new. It was when I was applying for MSBA, it was only 1 year old program, so it just started. Mm-hmm. And when I found out about it, I was really interested. I was really excited about that. And I just changed my mind.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I meant funding. Like, how do you fund your study?
Financially sponsored.
Like a scholarship.
Мои родители оплачивали учебу.
Okay.
Ну, как бы у меня система кредита с родителями.
Okay. So you're lucky. Да. What about, like, do you guys have some sort of scholarships? I believe, like, you have just partial funding, or how it works?
На данный момент для MSBA программы нету financial aid, но там есть исключения, то бишь нужно контактироваться именно конкретно с financial aid в университете. Как для программы самой MSBA нету никакого фандинга, насколько мне известно.
I guess Anton was saying that financial aid doesn't apply to international students. Is that what you said? Okay. Yeah, but there's many scholarship program offered by individual departments on campus. We call that Pioneer Scholarship. So you can apply based on your interests and your specialties. So there's many, like almost hundreds of different type of scholarships. Some are based on your high academic performance, like a high GPA, or some special projects or rewards you can apply. But it's it's on our Pioneer scholarship programs. You can check out, and it's many scholarship program doesn't only offer to the individual like a department. They open to many students. So you can take a look at it based on what you interest.
Yeah,
Lauren?
we can share that link with Liz to share with everyone who's registered.
Okay. Any other questions?
Guys, do you have questions?
Okay, I have one question. So what we are talking here about, what you were talking here, it's just mostly machine learning and big data and data science and stuff like that. But why do you have this name, business analysis? It's mostly data analysis. I don't understand this. What's your program about? Why don't you call it data analysis MSBA, not a BA? Maybe learn something, but for me, business analysis, when you get the requirements from customer and you elicit requirements, you provide them to the team and you work with team on the product, you decide what the product should be, and stuff like that. But here, like statistics, mathematics, data analysis. Could you please explain?
Ну, на самом деле есть таких как две работы, как есть Data Scientist и есть Data Analyst. Data Scientist — это более углубленная версия Data аналиста, то бишь, ну так, вкратце просто пример дам. Например, Data Analyst, он больше изучает данные, информацию, но при этом ему не нужно предоставить решение в какой-то ситуации. То бишь он должен просто предоставить развернутую информацию, вкратце там визуализировать ее, а в то время как Data Scientist, он должен найти решение. То бишь он не только представляет информацию и данные, но и находит решение. И в то же время отличие, конечно, и в оплате труда. Почему называется программа бизнес-аналитикс? Ну, потому что эти знания будут применяться именно в разборе данных конкретного бизнеса. Ну, я не знаю, ответил я на вопрос или нет, или что-то может более углубленно.
Have you ever heard about BA-bug?
Say it again?
Have you ever heard about BA-bug? Business analysis body of knowledge.
Body of knowledge?
Yeah, business analysis body of knowledge. It's like a Bible of business analysis.
Is it like a book or something? What is it?
Yes.
It's a book.
You know, like BA-bug, it's like project manager body of knowledge, and this is like BA-bug for business analysis. So this is like collection of knowledge of business analysis, and it's written by all the business analytics from all over the world. And it's very famous thing, and you can get certification based on the knowledge of that body of knowledge. So have you ever heard about this book?
I barely can hear you. No, I never heard of body of knowledge.
Only for Anton, it's a question for all the guys.
Did you guys hear the question well? The question was about the book, supposedly to be Bible of the business analytics.
And the name of the book, Body of the Knowledge?
Business analysis, body of knowledge.
Business analysis, body of knowledge, like 4-letter or 4-word name of the book.
I've never heard of that book.
Okay.
You might contact the faculty to ask about that.
Okay, let's check if someone online has some questions. Do you guys who are watching us online, do you guys have any questions? I don't see any questions.
Может, вопросы по интернатуре, про программу при бизнес-аналитика?
No questions?
I have no questions so far.
Well, we don't have any questions. So yeah, if someone would like to check on something, they can write directly to you and ask. Okay?
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
thank you.
Yeah, we will stay in touch.
Okay.
Could you please send me this presentation so that I have it on hand if someone asks? Okay.
Yes, we will.
Okay, thank you so much. We will stay in touch, and please send us some promo materials via post. Okay, I will
Okay.
send you a post address. So thank you so much again, everyone, for taking part in the webinar, and have a great day. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.